viewers, it is I, Iron Mandrill, here with a special installment of the Film Through Time series. In this video, we shall be going over the very first horror film in cinema history, which just so happens to be from the year 1896. I purposely omitted this short film from the last entry in the series in order to make this Halloween special. Horror films and Halloween go together better than peanut butter and jelly, so I thought what better way is there to celebrate this fine Hallows Eve than to cover the very first horror film. So let us embark on this journey together, back to the year 1896, to witness cinema's first horror flick. The House of the Devil, also known as the Haunted Castle, the Devil's Castle, and the Devil's Manor, which is the direct translation of the original title of this French film, Le Manoir du Diable. It is considered to be the first horror film of all time. The House of the Devil is a silent trick film that released on December 24th, 1896, also known as Christmas Eve. Talking about Christmas on Halloween? What is this, a Tim Burton movie? Nope, it's a Georges Méliès film. Georges Méliès is a French magician, actor, and film director. You will be hearing that name a lot in the Film Through Time videos to come. The House of the Devil tells the story of two cavaliers that encounter the devil and his minions. The film begins with a giant bat flying into the castle. The bat circles around the room several times before suddenly changing into the devil, Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles proceeds to use his powers to produce a cauldron and summons an assistant who would help him conjure a woman from said cauldron. The devil escorts the lady out of the room. After the mysterious woman exits the room, the devil's assistant summons an object, which the devil then proceeds to write in. Then the devil's assistant disappears underneath the cauldron. Mephistopheles then makes the cauldron disappear. The devil hears footsteps, so he grabs his cloak and vanishes into thin air. The two cavaliers enter. They look around and admire the castle. The one cavalier grabs the other. The devil's assistant appears behind them and pokes their backs before instantaneously teleporting to a different spot in the room. He confuses the pair of cavaliers and he causes one to flee in fear and confusion. The other cavalier stays behind. Several tricks are played on him, such as furniture moving around the castle and the sudden appearance of a skeleton. The cavalier then draws his sword and goes to attack the skeleton. When he goes to swing at the skeleton, it turns into a bat, and that bat is Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles summons his assistant. He then proceeds to hand his cloak to the assistant. The devil conjures 4 shrouded specters to subdue the cavalier and then vanishes. As the dazed man recovers from the specter's attack, Mephistopheles ushers in the woman from the cauldron, who impresses the cavalier with her beauty. As he kneels to kiss her hand, she turns into a withered old crone, then raises her pointy stick and turns into a group of 6 crones. The second cavalier returns, and after a brief show of bravery, flees once again. He escapes the crones by leaping over the balcony's edge. The crones dance in a circle and then vanish, and the devil once again confronts the first cavalier. The brave cavalier may seem cornered. All is not lost. He brandishes a large crucifix and repels the devil with it. So what did you think of the first horror film? Amused, perhaps? Well, if you were not alone, because that is how most felt when they watched the film. In the book Universal Monsters Origins, Christopher Ripley writes, "If Méliès was shooting for terror, he fell short of the mark. Initially, the film was amusing to its audience rather than terror-inducing. What was also notable about the film was Melisse's use of cinematography to morph characters into other characters. Though technology did not exist to create such visuals, Melisse used limited tools and his imagination to create a relatively impressive production. In addition to the precedents of vampirism and the paranormal that this film would establish in the horror genre, we can add being comedic rather than scary as well. I hope you enjoyed watching the first horror film in cinema. Perhaps now you'll follow it up with a modern classic. But regardless of whatever you end up doing, I hope you have a spooktacular night.